morning. It is great to be with you and be back at Hobnob. Thank you so much. And Blake and Scott, they mentioned very briefly being a scout leader. I want to take a point of personal privilege to start with. Brag on my 17-year-old just got his Eagle Scout a couple of months ago. Very proud of the young man. And for all the scouts across the state, it's a great program to train leaders for our state and for our nation. And that's a very important thing that we're all involved in. You being here tells me that your commitment to the future of Mississippi, to our economy, to our students, to your local community, your business, and I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for the privilege for allowing me to serve as your state auditor. We've had a tremendous track record in the first 2 terms. I've had the privilege of serving in this office. We've got over 140 cases we're working today of public corruption. And I don't know if you've heard or not or saw the article on Facebook that got passed around calling Mississippi the most corrupt state in the nation. Well, it's interesting that a professor out of Hong Kong decided to look at our conviction rates and claim that we were the most corrupt. I just take that we're doing a heck of a good job. Rutgers University, 2 years ago, said that Mississippi was the 6th best state in the nation at enforcing its public corruption laws. When you hire us to do a job, let me tell you, I have the privilege of working with some of the best public servants. The men and women at the auditor's office, our CPAs, our auditors, our accountants, our law enforcement investigators work tirelessly to be your premier public corruption law enforcement unit. And y'all join me, they're here in the crowd. Give them a round of applause for what they do to protect our state's reputation. Because of these men and women, GAO, the Government Accounting Office, not only in congressional testimony said that Mississippi was the best role model of how to manage and account for one-time federal expenditures, but this year they recognized us with the David M. Walker Award in Excellence and Accountability. Mississippi continues to be the role model for accountability, for honesty, for transparency, and for integrity, and I'm proud of the work that our public officials do across the state of Mississippi. As your state auditor, we also get to be a part of economic development. When a company comes to Mississippi, or one of our own companies, expand and create new jobs and receive the benefit of our tax dollars for infrastructure, for training, to come to our state and tax benefits, it's our office that goes in to validate they keep up their end of the bargain. If they claim they're going to create 2,000 jobs, it's our staff that goes in to find out, are those 2,000 jobs actually here, and are they keeping up their end of the bargain on what they're paying those employees? Workforce development, training, economic development, new jobs are critical for the future of the state of Mississippi. And as your state auditor, we're going to continue to protect those programs that create those jobs. And I'm proud to be a part of the cog in the wheel, the piece of the puzzle that makes economic development and growth happen in this great state. Now let me wrap up also by talking very briefly about education. It's probably the most important issue that we as government officials, we as Mississippians believe in. And I would dare say there's nobody in the education community, teachers, principals, superintendents, legislators, businessmen across the state who would disagree with that statement, that education is the most critical thing that we can do. But it can't be just a debate, litigation, or arguments, or a ballot initiative about money. There has to be accountability and efficiency and effectiveness to make sure we're spending that money properly. And we are adults in this room. We are neighbors, family, and friends who all believe that those children deserve the best opportunity in the future. And we all need to have a seat at the table in conversation. As your state auditor, we're going to continue to put the facts out, to check and be accountable for how our tax dollars are being spent in the education and in the future of the students of the great state of Mississippi. Now let me conclude. I started off with a point of personal privilege. Let me wrap up with the same personal note. I've already had a couple of you guys give me a hard time for my pink tie this morning. My wife thought it looked kind of good when I came out of the closet. Most of you know Whitney battled breast cancer 2 years ago. Whitney's surviving like many women and men across the state of Mississippi. If you watch the NFL, you see the pink wristbands and towels this month, reminding every single one of us October has been Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Let me also challenge those of us that may not be the priority. Brad White, my chief of staff, a year ago found out he had a melanoma because he went and got his screening done. Marshall Ramsey, who we all know across the state of Mississippi, has been one of the great champions of health care screening because of his own battles with melanoma. I followed their example, went just to get a baseline example this summer, just to find out, let's get a point to start from. I'm 46, let's find out where we are. 2 months later, I was back in that same doctor's office getting a skin cancer removed. So let me take the opportunity just to challenge you. You may think it's minor, you may think it's small. Take your health seriously. Women, men, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your occupation. Make sure you're checking for cancer of every kind and every way, because your family, your friends, and the state of Mississippi need you for the future of the great state of Mississippi. Thank y'all for allowing me to serve as your state auditor. Thank you for allowing me a few moments with you this morning, and y'all have a great hobnob.